Phyllis Njeri has become a household name in Kenya, trending for all the wrong reasons. And the reason why I want to speak about this woman who is trending for the wrong reason is because she has been accused of killing a 3-year-old boy. And the mother had left this 3-year-old boy in her care whilst she traveled out of the country, out of Kenya, to go and look for greener pastures. She's not the only woman that has done that. Many people leave Kenya and other countries to go abroad and look for greener pastures. So this is not an unusual circumstance. What makes this case unique and very sad is the fact that the woman who was left to care for the children ended up killing one of them, abusing both children, and in her hands a 3-year-old died. The other one, who is still alive, was significantly abused. We have seen pictures on social media of how that older boy, Peter, was abused physically, emotionally, and possibly neglected. Child protection is a very serious issue, and I think Kenya, it's time they address the child protection systems, how children are going to be protected better. In a country where economy does not sustain everybody and there is a need to go and look for greener pastures out of the country, then there need to be better structures on how, if parents leave children behind, how those children are going to be kept safe. And what are some of those structures? I'm just going to give an example of how the UK deals with issues about child protection and wanting to protect yourself. In my opinion, there needs to be a serious case review. In the UK, there is something that is called Every Child Matters. And in Every Child Matters policy, this is a policy that was produced after several deaths, unexplained deaths of children under the arms of those who were supposed to care for them. And it identified the failures on how child protection services were working. And since that time, there is a working together policy that was produced, and that is what works. So child protection services no longer work in isolation. They work with all other government bodies, all other governmental bodies. So you work together with schools, you work together with health, you work together with the police, you work together with other organizations in order to better protect children. Before, child protection was just a case of child protection agencies, but clearly that was not working. And that is the same case as in Kenya. Child protection services cannot work in isolation. You have to have other agencies involved so that child protection or safeguarding can be effective. And I think these are some of the things that Kenya may need to apply for better protection services of our children. Schools need to obtain DBS or clearance certificates from the police before they employ teachers, because you don't know who it is that you're employing. Hospitals need to do the same. And then if there is an issue that is unexplained, then all those that have touch with a child should report any safeguarding concerns that they have. There is something that is called a background check or police background check. And I think these are some of the things that Kenya needs to utilize, so that if you're a parent out there and you get a job out of the country, you go out of Kenya, and you want to leave your children in the care of another person, you should be able to check to see who are you leaving your children with. Are they known to have criminal record? What is their background? A background check that's going to look into their past, so that when you're leaving your children, you know you're leaving your children in a safe environment, and you're leaving your children with someone that is safe. I'm going to work, so allow me to sip my morning coffee as I drive. There's a lot of traffic, so that's why I am able to do this. And what are those background checks going to look like? Those background checks should be able to tell you if that person has a crime, if that person is known to the police for any reason. So when you're making a decision to leave your children, you are making an informed decision. That is something that is lacking in Kenya. And some of these failures that we are learning in this very sad case are because of system failures, but also there are failures on the responsibility of those who should be caring for the children. Families have failed, friends have failed, professionals have failed, and maybe even more sad, the government has failed. And so we would request that there is a review of how child protection should be dealt with. And there should be a system change of how those who are known to be criminals are going to be dealt with. We've all had the significant failures from the caretaker. Clearly, there is no knowledge of child protection at all. Because if somebody can ask a child to go and clean the blood of a dead child, I mean, kwani hiyo ni damu ya kuku? We're not talking about a chicken's blood here. We're talking about a human body's blood. Where is humanity? Where is humanity here? What happened to the human rights? Every born child, everybody that is born has human rights. And if a fellow human being can ask a child to go and clean the blood of a dead brother, there's clearly no humanity and no knowledge of child protection at all. If a mortuary, I don't know if this Mama Lucy is a government mortuary or a private mortuary, but whichever the case is, those are professionals. How do you receive a body that has no explanation on how this baby died? You accept it and you even produce a report, but you do not dig deep to find out the cause of the death, or how that baby died. Because there should have been a police investigation even before the baby was buried. It should have been a police investigation. It should never have been released in the mortuary before the police investigation is completed. But those are significant failures here, very significant failures. And what annoys me is to know that this is possibly not the only case. Who knows, maybe there are many other cases of children that have died and been taken to the mortuary, accepted and buried and forgotten. Let there be a serious case review that is going to shape the child protection system in Kenya. A review that is going to produce new laws on how children are going to be protected better in Kenya. New laws that will bring education to those who are in the village that do not know about child protection, how to protect. I mean, if neighbors were hearing this child being beaten by this so-called Njeri and they just kept quiet, again, clearly there is a gap. There is a big gap there, that there is no knowledge. There's no knowledge of safeguarding. Safeguarding is serious. People die in their own houses, in the hands of animals. Bloodthirsty vampires like that Phyllis Njeri. To me, she's not a human being. I'm sorry. But there is no one with humanity that can do that. You are human because of the feelings that you have. What makes you a human being is the spirit that you carry. And clearly she does not carry a spirit of a human. She carries a spirit of an animal. She has no soul at all. No sympathy. No emotions. There is a lesson that I taught. Let me put the shade here because it's burning my eyes. There's a lesson I taught some time back, and I said every human being is known as a human being because of the spirit that you carry inside of you. And the spirit that you carry inside of you determines the kind of person you are. If children are going to be protected, if children are going to be kept safe, then there needs to be a change of policy. So if you can tear a child apart, eat the parts of a child, drink blood of a baby, you're not human. You are not human at all. You're either an animal or the devil himself. I have heard another story. I have no evidence or verification of this, that Njeri killed her own daughter. So if this woman has killed her own child, then she has no feelings at all. This is not the first time. And you know what worries me? What worries me is that this woman was a teacher. We are taking our children to be taught by vampires like this, to be taught by devil agents. Oh, God, protect our children when we send them to school, because you don't know who you're sending them to. How do we know how many children that she was teaching, she has done evil things to them, threatening them that she's going to kill them if they dare to say? Because that is that is how emotional abuse starts, by the way. When you start telling a child, do not say, if you say this and this and this is going to happen, that in itself is child abuse, emotional child abuse. But now we are taking our children to be taught by people like this. Where are background checks? I mean, she should not even have been a teacher in the first place. But what is more sad is that I guess to even obtain a police clearance is a myth in Kenya, because you can just go and give some money and get a clearance report even when you're a serial killer. That's very sad. Those who are in law, you need to push for better child protection policies. You need to push for better clearance reports from the police. You need to push for a better police force system, one that is not thirsty of bribes. These police officers are getting paid. Why would you ask for a bribe and you're getting a salary before you do your job? Maybe there needs to be a review on those public services. All the system will need to work together if child protection in Kenya is going to be efficient. If systems are not working together, everyone is doing their own things, you'll always have failures like this. And we'll always be hearing stories like this. It's very sad that it takes a death of a baby for any review of policies to be done. Very, very sad that it takes the death of a baby for policies to be reviewed. So I'm gonna wrap it there, guys. I am going to my place of work. I'm still stuck slowly on traffic. Food for thought, and let there be lessons learned. Let's not just speak about what has happened and not learn lessons. Everything that happens so that you can learn lessons from it and make changes. And let this be one of them that is going to make and bring positive changes for better protection of children in the future. And until the next time, guys, for now, Baraka.